Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is a very exciting video and can't wait to get stuck into it. And I just fucked it all up, did I not? Yes. Let's try it again. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is a very exciting video because at long last we finally get to put the mystery of the X map right over here to bed. That's right. The cause of many sleepless nights, I have finally solved the mystery with some help. And if you're not too sure what the X map is, then please go back on my previous video, The Greatest Mystery, and watch that to get an understanding of why this is such a monumentous occasion for me. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So, solving the mystery, I mean, you know what we've gone through to try and figure this out. I still went back to the community to ask some more questions, spoke to a few people, did a few tinkering around P2 and I still couldn't figure it out. So eventually I gave up trying to figure out myself and tried going a more direct approach. And what I mean by that is I roped in some help. I brought in one of the big guns. I went straight to the top to get some answers for us. And who is this person, you may ask? Well, hold on for me while I go get him quickly. He's quite a busy man, so let's hope he has some time. Let's go find him. And here we are, guys, at Game Matter Studios. This is the studio for the developers of the game, Duel Revolution, and we have Dima as well as Andre. And I was lucky enough to have some time with this gentleman over here, Andre, to go through the X map and basically interview him about it to finally put the mystery to rest. And this is what I asked him. So I asked Andre outright, what is the X map and is there something to it? And this is what he shared with me. So basically, guys, the X map itself is a map of P2 City before the game's full release. So many years ago, in a version of P2 that we haven't even seen ourselves. I don't think any of us, other than the developers, have seen this version of P2. And he even shared with me a picture of the map of P2 at that time when he introduced the X map into the game, and this is what it looks like. Now, if we zoom in on P2 City on this previous version of P2 Island, and we take the X map and put it side by side, we can see the two actually talk to each other. But the only difference is that you may note that their building on the right and the dig sites are different. But that's simply because by the time he found this old version of the map for me, they had slightly updated it a little bit after the introduction of the map. So just a slight update to the map. But as you can see, if you look at the roads themselves and the buildings where they align, it makes sense to us. This was the outlay that they used for the X map. Then I asked the gentleman, okay, great, so this was basically a version of P2 before we even got to see it. That's very cool, but what was the purpose of the X then? Where did that point to? And I thought maybe that the X was going to say something to the effect of it'll point us to it was loot or something to that case or a secret, but no, actually it was incorporated into the story. So the X map, at that time, they were thinking about the idea of using the X map to point us through to the Enigma Stone. Now that's the stone that Mr. Goodwill himself stole in the story, or in the story that we know of right now. So that X map was simply going to show us where the Enigma Stone was, and that was the significance of the X to point us there. He did also mention very briefly that they're also tinkering with the idea that perhaps it was going to point to something else, but as you can tell, they took a different direction, and now we have the current version of Bitukora Island, and the map stayed as it was back all those years ago when they decided to try and incorporate this into the game, when they were still doing the storytelling and all that good stuff. So yes, that's it, guys. So the mystery has been solved. Unfortunately, there is no treasure or loot or secret to the X map, but rather the X map itself points us to the history of Bitukora Island itself. A time long before any of us got into the game and were able to explore it and, you know, catch ourselves some evos, see some mysteries, solve some puzzles, and do this awesome story that they came up with. And yeah, that's it, guys. That is the mystery solved. It's a look into the past of Bitukora, if you will. And actually, I want to take you aside now that we understand more to the lore of the X map and the mystery is now solved and we can all go to bed. But just thought I had a couple thoughts, some somber thoughts. So let me take you back. So here we are back at the construction site, and after hearing the lore about the map and its history, and that unfortunately it doesn't point us to anything right now in the game, but it did in the past, actually got me thinking. And these are just thoughts that I thought were very interesting, that the X map itself is at a construction site where they were digging, right? And who's to say that these donut loving, coffee drinking, sweaty boys over here didn't necessarily dig up the X map and place it on the table over here as a relic. Maybe we thought about this the wrong way. We thought about the X map to be a treasure map, a map of loot, a map to a secret of some kind. But no one, mostly me, didn't take time to think about this could actually be a map of the past. So who's to say these construction workers didn't dig up this map, put it on this table, and is now a relic, a look into the past of Duel Revolution and Bitukora Island, and in itself is actually a treasure. If you think about it, this guy over here could have been dug up and is a relic, a treasure, a piece of treasure, a relic itself. How cool to think? Hey, wouldn't that be a cool little twist? I know it's reaching, so I don't think it's going to be adapted into the game, but what a cool thought to think that maybe the map itself was the treasure the whole time. It wasn't a treasure map, but the map itself was the treasure. It was a relic dug up by these construction workers and is actually a look into the history of Bitukora and where we are right now. So I thought that was a cool little thought. But yeah, I mean, where would this leave me at the moment anyways? Because I was also thinking, you know, what now would I hope, if anything, if I could talk to Andre and Dima again and ask them, hey, you know what, now that we know all of this, what do we do from here? Where do we go from here with this this blue map, this X map? Now that we have the mystery solved and we understand the whole meaning behind it. And, you know, I was thinking maybe one of two things. Because it's kind of sad to me to leave this map over here, which brings me to my first point. I mean, here it's in a room with donuts and coffee and sweaty boys. So I feel like it should deserve a bit more of a place of honor, a seat of honor. Maybe in a future update, the map will be moved off this table and more coffee and donuts will be put there or something, and this map can actually be put into a museum or something in the game in a future update. You know, just to give it a place of honor, because I feel like it's such a cool bit of history, and most gamers, especially myself, I like the lore of a game. So to have something that puts me in the past, to know what was before, gives me a cool idea of how far we've come. So it would be great to have this in maybe, say, a museum or an art gallery of some kind, should the game ever introduce it. And yeah, maybe just put some more donuts there and some clothes on the table or something, and I don't know, work instruments, and move the map into a place of safety and where it can be seen by future duelists that join the game and just know how far we've come since the game's development. Remember guys, this game is developed by two individuals, Andre and Dima, so you know, it's a lot of work if you think about it, that they put into this thing, and it's gone from where it was on this map that they shared with me to where we are now at this map. So that just to show you, you know, there was a lot of work done, a lot of love poured into the game, and I think that map over here deserves a place of reverence. Would reverence be a good word? Is reverence even a word? Maybe it's not, I don't know, but a place where it can be recognized by everybody and enjoyed. There's also a point too that I'd like to make, and that would be that maybe the X map should actually get an update. And maybe that update to the X map, if not put into a museum or art gallery, should be purpose. Maybe it'd give us a quest of some kind, or a treasure to find. Something like that. Maybe the image on the map can be updated slightly and give us a place to go, and we can find something over there. Or maybe something on another island. Who knows? But, you know, an idea. Maybe we update the game again and we give purpose to this pretty cool piece of Duel Revolution history over here on the table. But before we go, I do have a little bit of a surprise for you. That's right. When I sat with Andre and we were talking about the X map, we got onto other topics. And what he did share with me wasn't just the Bittercore Island we now know now, and the Bittercore Island that we have seen when the X map was introduced to the game. He also showed me other various stages of development on Bittercore Island itself, and I saw a lot of really cool and interesting things that have changed and morphed over the years. So look out for that, because that's definitely going to be a future video, and I think it'll be a pretty long one in comparison to some of my other videos. So look out for that, because it's going to be very interesting. Lots of cool things have changed, updated, things that were taken off, which I think they should actually bring back. There was one or two cool things I saw that I really think should come back to the game. Now it's gone missing. So yeah, look out for that video. It's going to happen. I'm not going to say when, because my life is a little crazy right now, and when I do get a little bit of an opportunity and a gap, I will definitely start working, post the updates on the channel, and make you guys all aware when to tune in. And lastly guys, before we go, again, the channel has grown. I have a couple new subscribers. Thank you so much to those guys. You're absolute legends. It motivates me to actually put my life aside and make these videos on Duel Revolution. I do enjoy the game, so it's fun when I can explore it a little bit more and share that with you and see the appreciation as well come across with these new subscribers, and also the view time. View time on my channel has grown quite a lot, and that's really great to see, so thank you so much. And yeah, with that, I suppose I'm going to end like a normal content creator person and ask you to please tickle the likes and the follows and the subscribes and all those wonderful thing buttons. If you don't mind tickling it, I'm sure it will enjoy being tickled. And thank you for that, and thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, hopefully soon. And yeah, thank you. Cool. Cheers guys. Bye bye. Oh my goodness guys, I'm so sorry. There was one more thing I wanted to say. There were a couple people that need to be thanked in this video, and it slipped my mind. I do apologize. I also apologize ahead of time should I have mispronounced your name. So I want to say thank you to these individuals. I want to say thank you to I'm Patter. This is the gentleman who reignited the interest back in the X map and got me on this journey. I also wanted to say thank you to Acid as well as Mr. Calaros. Both of you were very cool and insightful with some views that you shared with me, and I really did appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I also want to say thank you to my guild, my clan, Bad Bats, the BB clan. When I took about, I don't know, 6 or 7 takes, recordings of this video, so they know the frustration. I just wanted to say thank you for them for putting up with my nonsense. And lastly, and I think most importantly, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to make this video. So huge thank you to these two gents over here. Thanks again to Dima as well as Andre, especially you, Andre. Thank you so much for your time and sitting with me to go over this so we could finally lay this to bed. So that's it. Sorry, longer than I wanted to make this video, but yeah, just I had to include these individuals. It would not be right if I didn't. So yeah, thanks guys, and appreciate you. All right then, that's it. Cheers. Bye.